Audio check 1, 2. Check, check, check. Be sure to hit that like button, share with your friends and family so they can see this too. Hey guys, AJ Town here, live with the T Storm Chasers, ready to start bringing you the latest weather update on this massive winter storm that's going to be moving across the Midwest. Again, we are seeing a repeat of what we saw the last time with that system as it pushed through. We are going to definitely be watching this system fairly close. Sorry, I have a light on that's bugging me, and I'm trying to find my switch to turn it off. There it is. Anyways, all right. Now that I shut that off, we are going to be watching the system that is going to be really bringing a winter storm impact to much of the region again, into the South Dakota, into the Iowa, Minnesota, and Nebraska area. There's already winter storm warnings out in effect, winter storm watch, winter weather advisories that are in effect for much of the area. As we're going to jump into that right away, look at just how many watches and warnings are out for this storm as it gets ready to start moving into the area, as we do start to see things ramp up and start to bring its ways into the whoops, I hit the wrong button there. As it starts to come into the area, sorry, I have this little clicker that I click and it's supposed to change my slides and I hit the wrong clicker. As it starts to come into this area, we are really watching it to bring a winter storm watch and warning in effect for much of those areas there. You do see that the Sioux Falls area is under a winter storm watch that goes into effect tomorrow night and is in through the day on Friday to 6 p.m. So would not be surprised to see school cancellations and other cancellations as we get ramped up here for this next winter storm. It is going to be bringing another anywhere between 2 to 7 inches of snow with this. Good thing is that we can do here at T Storm Chasers for you is start to bring it hour by hour when we could expect to see things and what we're going to see, when we're going to see it, and how much we're going to see it over the course of the next 48 hours as the system does start to come into the area. Real quick, a winter storm warning is in effect for those areas there in purple. Sioux City all the way down to Omaha does last until the evening on Friday there. As we look at the winter storm watch, does include the Sioux Falls, Mitchell area, north of Sioux City, along I-90, and down further southwest there, or southeastward, along the I-35 corridor. We are going to be watching that. Now, again, that does go into effect for Thursday into Friday. We are watching that Friday until about that 6 p.m. Time frame that we are watching it. A winter weather advisory is issued for areas along the South Dakota-Nebraska border, down into the Nebraska area, down along the Highway 20, all the way just north of the I-80 corridor as well. So what are we looking at? When are we going to see things move through? What are going to be the snow totals and everything along those lines? We will get you jumped into this. I want to thank Riley for doing our graphics with this as well, as we do start to jump into this. Now, we are watching this low pressure system. This low pressure system is what is bringing this system towards us, is going to be bringing this low pressure system. We do watch that start to move through the area. We do have that chance of some snow showers pushing the day through today that we did see come through and now out of the area. Then as we do continue, we are watching the next low pressure system that is going to be bringing us our next storm system. Now, the European model keeps the heavier band of snow just a little further southward than for the Sioux Falls area than what is normal to be this winter storm. We do see that area there in blue for that being the heavier portion of that snowfall. Now, as we go through, that's that 06 Zulu, which is going to be right about that midnight 1 o'clock time frame. And then as we do continue to put the model into motion there for your commute to work about that 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock time frame, we do see things are still staying a little further southward with this. But one thing we have to watch is that European model is going to maybe shift it, keeping it just a little further south than what the rest of it is. The rest of the models, so definitely something we're watching fairly close is how far that low pressure system does set up. Because if that low pressure system does shift just a little further northward, we're going to see our snow totals a little higher. There is another winter storm. You could see it right down through here that is affecting, there is another winter storm that is affecting the Colorado and Kansas area. You can see that as well coming into Monday of next week. So something we're going to have to watch fairly closely because it's not going to take much for that to shift northward and bring us another chance of seeing some snow with that as well. As we do put the map into motion, we can see that that does stay to the south. Good news is, so going into next week, we're not watching much for another system to progress through the area. We are watching there on Thursday some system as well that will be pushing through the area coming into Thursday of next week. Again, this model is quite a ways out, over 200 hours out. So definitely something to keep in mind is that grain of salt as that does come into play. Good news is, though, as we go into next week, we're not looking much for snow and snow accumulations. But what are we looking at for hour by hour with this, and when is it going to come into play? We're going to jump right into that here. Let's zoom into the area here a little closer. We'll have those snow showers taper off throughout the evening and push eastward there, bringing another winter weather situation out west or out east there in the Chicago and Indiana and Michigan area there. You can see that. Now we start to watch things here about that 8-9 o'clock time frame. We do start to see that it is starting to move into the I-90 corridor. We can see this band right through here is what we are watching there about that 11 o'clock time frame. Trying to get this off of here. There we go. About that 11 o'clock time frame is what we start to see coming into Thursday. That will continue to gain some strength and sit over the Sioux Falls area there come into Thursday. And then we are watching further down south where that heavier stuff is going to be. That heavier stuff is what we are going to be watching is further down southward. You can see that down by the Omaha area here as I do backtrack it just a little bit. Further southward there, you can see that heavier band down by south of the I-80 corridor. And as that does come into play, we do see that that does kind of back build and push up into the Sioux Falls area coming into Friday there, Friday morning. We do see that it is starting to back build and really impacting the I-90 corridor and the I-35. Again, this is going to really impact that Chicago area as well. We do see some lingering showers and snowstorms stick around through your day on Friday, bringing us our chance of seeing some of that snow total accumulate just a little higher as we come into all said and done here, that 48-hour outlook as far as snow totals. They are bringing it a snow accumulation of 9 inches of snow. Sioux City about that 7, Omaha about that 7.6, down in about the Vermilion 8.9 inches of snow. So as we take a look at your weather analysis and what we are looking at, more snow will impact the region starting tomorrow morning, lasting through the day on Friday. Another 4 to 8 inches will be likely with this. The orange shaded area will get the most snow according to those latest models there. We do see that Thursday and Friday is going to be our highest impact there, and we do have a concern with those winds. Now, as we do jump into the current radar there, we are looking at those snow showers that did move through our area is finally moving into that Iowa and South Dakota. As we take a quick look at your 10-day forecast here, we are looking again Friday coming in blistery cold weather definitely is going to be moving in, where we are going to struggle the next couple days to get above double digits. And even overnight temps are going to be where we are going to struggle to get above zero for much of the week coming into the next 10 days as we do look at that. Real quick, we want to mention we do have sponsorship available for that, for the 10-day forecast that we will be posting regularly on our page. Here is a quick little message from the National Weather Service out of Sioux Falls here. You do see that their confidence is starting to grow with that. We're actually right now, according to them, is a little bit on an uncertainty with this track. But right now what we are looking at is it's going to stay primarily south of like the Madison, Pipestone, Woonsocket, Brookings area there. Will impact basically I-90 corridor southward. Between the I-90 and the I-70 corridor is what we are looking at for those impacts with that. Here's a quick look at your hour-by-hour forecast according to the National Weather Service and snow accumulations with that as well. They're putting it just a little bit on the smaller side, right around the 4-inch mark for the Sioux Falls area with this system as it does come into play and impact us. Let me get my next slide changed here. Again, one thing we do want to touch on is this dangerously cold weather that is going to be moving through the area with the next course of the next week here, basically, is what we are looking at. But this weekend, as we jump into this weekend, we are looking at temps that are going to be in the negative double digits with the wind chill as that comes into play. Let's take a quick look at your European model snow totals as we jump with this system pushing through and coming into Friday night with that. They are right around that 2 to 4 inch mark. You can see the further south you go, the heavier those snow totals are going to be coming into about that noon hour. And then as we go about that commute home, we're going to end up with right about that 2 to 4. But again, we are going to have to watch this ridge line here, because if it does shift just a little further northeastward or northwestward, we are going to see snow totals a little bit higher. The path of this is uncertain exactly. You can see out in the Michigan and Illinois area there, they are receiving just an abundance of snow with that. Looking at the next 240 hours out there, we are seeing our snow total accumulation between that 3 to 5 inch mark total. Much of the state is going to be right around that 2 inch mark. Now, I did mention some dangerously cold temperatures that are going to be moving through with those wind chills. And we can see coming into Thursday that trough that's starting to come across and going to really impact us. As that trough does come into play, really start to impact us, that's going to drop your temps really, really cold here. And you can see this gray area here. Now watch this gray area as we come into Saturday. That starts to move its way north or southeastward and really impact the Sioux Falls area, where Pierre is going to see negative 30s for their wind chills coming into Saturday and into Sunday. We could even see negative 40 in the Sioux Falls area come Sunday morning as you do get up there. You do see Monday morning there that does struggle. So good news is with that Monday morning kids don't have school. So we are going to be thankful for that the kids don't have school and have to walk in these cold temps or try to wait for the bus. Tuesday morning, would not be surprised to see either a 2-hour delay or a school cancellation, as we are seeing temps that are going to be in that negative 30s to negative 40-degree weather coming into Tuesday morning there. We do see that cold air does stick around coming in for Tuesday into Wednesday there. Thursday, we are finally up above that 0 mark with the wind chills. And then we're dropping back down coming into Thursday, into Friday, and into Saturday of next weekend there. We are seeing those temps drop down back into the double digits and into the teens. Let's just look at how big and powerful this storm system is that is moving through the Midwest. As we do put the map into motion there, we do see it start to take that southwestward trough and then push its way northward there real quick and into the Sioux Falls area. You can see that low pressure system. That low pressure system is going to bring the chance of some severe weather for those southern portions of the United States. We do watch that next low pressure system that is going to bring our chance of seeing some snow coming into Saturday and Friday night into Saturday morning. Just looking at maybe under an inch of snow, half inch to an inch of snow with that Saturday as it starts to come into play. Again, there's that next system that we were talking about that we're going to have to pay fairly close attention to coming into Monday, that we could see another snow system come through. Right now, that's pushing further southward and going to really impact those areas to the south of us, where they're going to see that possibility of ice and snow along down into even Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Georgia is going to have that risk of seeing some ice accumulation as well. There's our next low pressure system that is pushing through the area that brings another chance of seeing a decent storm as well. These low pressure systems is what's really going to haunt us over the course of the next couple weeks here as they start to come into play. And those low pressure systems will really impact our temperatures and our precipitation. Speaking of precipitation, let's take a quick look at your precipitation outlook for the next 8 to 14 days. As we jump into that, you're looking at near normal, if not just a little below normal for the Sioux Falls area. South Dakota, Nebraska area is going to be near that normal as well. As we look at your temperature outlook, we're going to dip down below average for this time of year is what we are going to continue to watch for over the course of the next 8 to 14 days with this as well. As we take a quick look at your road reports across the area, we are seeing that snow cover is persistent with the streets, even the main fairways in the Sioux Falls area. As we take a look at your South Dakota 511 road report, we are seeing that much of the state is reporting eastern portions of the state is reporting snow-covered, isolated snow-covered, and slow going, especially in the far southeastern portions of South Dakota. As we jump into Iowa there, we are seeing the partially covered snow system as that comes into play. Minnesota as well, as that trough starts to shift its way eastward. Good news is we're not seeing much impact for travel according to 511s. Now, as we jump into the Nebraska there, the northeastern portion of Nebraska is where we are seeing the road conditions going to be completely covered, partially covered in isolated slickness as we go into that. Now, again, we want to jump into your 10-day forecast, take a quick look at that before we end things. We do see, again, temps are going to struggle to get above the 0-degree mark for the course of the next 5 days primarily. We are going to see overnight lows that are going to be in the double digits, if not into the teens, into the 20s with that. And then as we go into the overnight hours, we are going to see those cold temps come in for the wind chills as well. So we are going to continue to track this winter storm system, bring you the latest weather information. And again, we are under a winter storm watch for the Sioux Falls area. Sioux City area and further southward is under that winter storm warning. Winter weather advisory for those areas there in blue. So again, we will continue to monitor things, watch things as things start to develop, and see how things are going to form over the course of the next 24 hours with this winter storm as it really starts to impact the area. So again, I'm AJ Town with the T-Storm Chasers. I want to appreciate everybody for joining us and sticking with us as we continue to monitor the latest weather information. Thanks, guys, for joining us, and have a fantastic night.